Hey everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to the camera being pointed at my face for the first time since I started the channel. I just wanted to talk about, I just finished up watching some videos by some other LDS YouTubers, and they were talking about the hokey pokey or whatever you want to call it, and yikes. There are some tempers flaring right now, and it made me kind of feel a little bit uncomfortable, just how some people are responding to it, like how other people think. And this is a really difficult issue. Sorry, that goose, it's like he doesn't realize that I've been here before. What? Anyway, tempers are kind of flaring, and it's really easy for that to happen in a situation like this. You have a lot of people that feel pretty strongly about whether to go ahead and do it or not do it, and is the First Presidency right? Are you following the Spirit? And just all these different things. And I can understand all sides, honestly. I do have a side, but I realize that not everybody has necessarily looked at the same research that I have, or may not think the same way that I do, not be as open to some of the things that I've studied. And I understand that people come to different conclusions. We all have different backgrounds, and we're all individuals. And I really think that we just need to respect one another, and respect that we're free to come to our own conclusions about what to do in this situation. And if you haven't watched my channel yet, you know that I'm completely against it. I think that this whole thing is just a big scam, essentially, and not being portrayed truthfully, and that there's bigger stuff at play. But I am going to go ahead and do it because I believe that we can take the prophet's advice, and even if it is coming in on an administrative side, I still think that we would do well to follow the prophet. And I honestly don't think that whatever their plan may be, if you think like me, whatever their plan may be is actually going to come to fruition and kill people off or make people sterilized. I do believe that we are in the last days, in that you have to factor that in when making this decision, that because they don't expect us to follow them blindly. They do expect us to research it, think for ourselves, and then obviously pray and maybe even fast about it, depending on how strongly you feel about it. But I've prayed, and I've come to my own conclusion, and like I said, I think that I'm going to go ahead and do that. However, I'm not going to get upset at other people that don't, or I'm not going to get upset that people don't believe the same way that I do. Everyone's situation is different. Like I said, be quiet, goose. I'm gonna go over here and leave that silly goose alone. So, I've had lots and lots and lots of time to study things. Ever since 2017, when I started doing my freelance work, and I had all that time to work for myself, work on the computer, and just listen to stuff all day. Not everybody's had that. Not everyone has the time to research things, and you can't really get mad at that. My last video, I talked about distractions and how we need to try and cut those out so that we do have time to do the research and focus on important things like this. But each and every one of us is an individual. We have different backgrounds, different attitudes. We've been taught different things. We have varying amounts of time, like free time available to us. So the most important thing really in this life is learning how to treat others and to love them. And part of that is respect and understanding, or in other words, empathy. Being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I don't think that people are generally dumb, that they just do things like, maybe some people do, but I see a lot of that kind of attitude. Like, if someone doesn't agree with you, it's because they're dumb. They just don't know how to come to the same conclusion that you did. And I think most people are trying to do their best, and they've come to their conclusion in a satisfactory way to them, and it may not meet your standards, it may not meet my standards, but it does to them. And I think that you have to respect that. I don't think that taking the hokey pokey is a salvation issue. That's why I think it came through the administrative side, and then it wasn't put out in church over the pulpit. So, and again, I can't really think of a time that the prophets recommended to do something and then ended up being wrong about whatever that advice was. If you can think of an example, let me know. Put it in the comments and let's talk about it and research it together. But let's try and put some restraints on our emotions. Let's try and treat everybody with dignity and respect. When I was on my mission, there was this key phrase. Well, this was mostly in the MTC. This key phrase they wanted us to think about, and it was called quiet dignity. And it's just like what it sounds. Let's try and behave and think and treat people at a higher level. And I hate using this word now because of how it's been twisted for political means, but let's try and be tolerant of other people and their different opinions and beliefs. And it just if this whole thing is just like a big mistake and the First Presidency has been deceived, I think the Lord has a plan for that. I really do. And if you don't want to get it, then that's fine too. You can go against their advice, and I would just hope that you are using the Spirit and that you're not letting pride or anything get in the way. Because I myself, I could have easily have given in to my pride and stuck to my guns, but I'm not. It's okay. I trust that everything's gonna work out just fine in the end. And at risk of repeating myself for the millionth time, I think that the events of the second coming are they are already here, and we're just getting closer and closer. And I think that we're really close to certain things happening, like the quickening event. And I'll have to do that video soon, because like I said, there have been, I feel like, numerous hints in recent general conferences that the general authorities believe that this quickening is going to be happening soon, and it's like they're trying to prepare us for it. So I'll do a video about that. Maybe that'll put some of you at ease that are against it. It's put me at ease. But we are before Christ's official return, at some point, we are going to be translated, and we're going to have terrestrial bodies. And based on what I've seen and what I've researched, I do believe that you know, all our fallen state, like, or just all these like corruptions in our body, they're going to go away. And I think that would include any bad substance that we're putting within ourselves, if we follow the First Presidency's advice, if it is in fact a bad substance, and what a lot of us think that it is. So I'll wrap it up here. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I have so many videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to try and just hit up everything that I think is important. I'm going to be very active and proactive with this channel, and I think that I have a lot of good content to share, a lot of good insights, and maybe things that you haven't seen yet. You know, some of it's probably going to be old, but you may not have necessarily seen it yet, and I'm going to try and stay on top of current events and breaking news as it comes up. So thanks for sticking with me this long, and I'll talk to you next time.